Okay. Okay, so once again, okay. So, welcome to Essential Oil free webinar today. And as always, my name is Bukola Ijoma Ogunsoro. I am would I like to say, of course, I'm a naturopath, but I'm a natural health enthusiast. So that means I am hungry and always looking for ways to make life healthier and well for everybody. So, and this whole thing started with a journey. So like in 2014, suddenly I lost my dad. I mean, of course, before he died, he was sick for like a month and we were taking him to the hospital. And at some point, one of the doctors told us that because of a particular painkiller I was using, it affected his kidney, and that was what eventually led to his death, And I studied biochemistry in school, and all my life, I've never heard or even imagined that the drugs that we use or medicine will cause harm instead of good. So that was like when you ask, it was is it what you call aha moment. So when I had to like ask myself, what's going on here? How can medicine do this, And then that's how I found myself doing research. And then I found out that there was a whole world of natural alternative. And that's when I started seeing all the issues with the medicines through research and everything showing problems with medicine. So at that point, my dad was 70 when he died. My mom was 60, but of course, the same things that were wrong. I mean, my dad was using painkiller because he had arthritis. Of course, my mom was also already having arthritis at that time, because both of them had the same lifestyle and the same diet and all of that. So definitely, most of them would manifest the same kind of issue. So then I started, the journey started. So before then, I used to go to Turkey and bring in clothes or do some business with companies, introduce their companies to Nigeria. So I was just a businesswoman. Though I studied biochemistry, I wasn't doing anything about biochemistry. But when I got into that, my next trip to Turkey, which was in 2015, my dad died September 2014. By 2015, I was in Turkey for business. I told my partners, I started with my partners, I said, okay, guys, I'm not interested in this clothes business anymore. And then at that time, I'd done enough research, so I'd come up with a list of natural alternatives. And at the top of the list was essential oils. There were very, very, very few people that were doing things like that in Nigeria, but they were using it for skincare products and all of that. So I've connected one or two. So that was how I started, of course, with my partners. We started bringing in essential oils, herbs, supplements, different fruits, dried fruits, and all of that, just in the name of health. My main aim was that my mother must not go through the same thing my father went through, because that was like a wake-up call for me. So I started it, and of course, my mom she was 71 last week. Yes, last week. And of course, strong. When I post our pictures, people are like, you look like sisters, is this you? Some people even mix us up. Meanwhile, she wasn't looking like that 60 years ago. So that's just to tell me that my intention of making sure that my mom did not suffer from, she did have to use pain medications that would help her, that would destroy her organs or cause problem for her and then die. That purpose had been achieved because now she's healthy, she's strong, and she personally, she has been able to discover herself, and she knows, of course, with the experience that what happened to my dad, that she herself will run for medicine. But she's strong and she's fine now and she's better now, just based on this knowledge. And so since 2015, I started the business of bringing in essential oils, and we're selling all over Nigeria, of course, herbs and all of that. But, I started with the name MC Herbal. So if you just Google my name, I'm sure you'll see the history. We started with MC Herbal. And of course, we're helping, and a lot of testimonials was coming in. And then, of course, COVID came in, we couldn't continue. And I had to sit back. So in between that period, the moment I started using essential oils, the whole of my family, my children, my brother, everyone, I actually stopped using medication. I'm not lying. So the truth was that there was really no need for those medications, because the common things like malaria, cold, catarrh, all those things, We're not having it anymore. I wasn't experiencing it. So, you know, little children, most times they frequently have those kind of things. But also, and if anytime anything shows up, I just use essential oils, especially cold and all those things for children. Just rub essential oils in some essential parts in the body and then so there was really no need for us to go to hospital or use medication, because most times those medications are harmful. So we had to start. That was how I started this whole thing. So, but today, let me not take time. Today, I'm going to show you how essential oils can transform health and also open up a powerful business opportunity in a world where chemicals are failing us. So, getting there. Let's talk about the problem. I didn't want to start it in the introduction, but why do you think, what problem do you think essential oils want to solve? So the problem is chemicals and modern lifestyle. Now, like my dad was able to get to 70 because, of course, according to, in our naturopathic medicine, in Chinese medicine particularly, we talk about constitution, what's that person. So when you are younger, you have he had a stronger constitution because he was exposed to only natural things. You know, in their days, we did not have Indomie. Spaghetti was not. They ate real food. They ate fruits, vegetables. There were not too many chemicals even in the food and all of that. So he had the opportunity to get to 70 because his body was, at least the times that the few chemicals that got into his body was when he started using medication, as far as I'm concerned. And that's probably because he was using high blood pressure medication, pain, and those were the few problems that got into the system. You know, that caused problem. But it got to 70. These days, if you reach 70, you will thank God, because the things that we see now, you have children with cancer. You have women having fibroid, as if young people coming up with fibroid. You have prostate issues showing up and down. You have all kind of health issues, and these things are coming up. I want to tell you that these things are coming up from a lot of the chemicals that we introduce into our body. So we have the chemicals you use for your cleaner, cosmetic. We know, maybe not everybody, but it's no more a new saying that your deodorants, for example, your antiperspirant, for example, antiperspirant is even a no-no. If you see any roll-on or that writes antiperspirant, you shouldn't even be using that, because it just simply means anti-sweat. Now, your sweat is part of your body, part of the body's process of excreting, of getting dirt out of your system. If you now begin to block the sweat, and this is one of the reasons why people have breast cancers. So that's one aspect. So antiperspirant is a no-no. Now, other deodorants are loaded with a lot of other chemicals that have been, scientifically proven to have hormone disruptors. And when they disrupt hormones, when your hormones are disrupted, of course, that means they're scattering the whole chemical process in your body. And that will spring up as anything. It could come up, major things that people have hormonal imbalance for men. So most of those, erectile dysfunctions and all of that, they are tied, the root cause of it is hormonal imbalance. So we have a lot, not to mention GMOs that are now finally being introduced into our country. Countries like US and others, they have a lot of health issues. Why? Because they take too many of those GMOs. Now they're finally trying to reduce the population of Nigeria, according to what's his name, Bill Gates. But GMO is coming in, and that's also poison. So we need, so that's the problem. Let's just say rising case of cancer, hormonal imbalance, infertility issue, allergies, that's the truth, anxiety, stress. All of these things are tied to chemicals that we are using day to day. Now, the present and the future demands a shift. People are actively looking for natural, safer solutions. So for me, life is not about just making money. For me, life is about looking at the times where we are now. There's a problem. Do you want to be part of those that want to suffer from this problem, or be saved from this problem? To be those that are seeing the problem and want to prefer solution. Now, wherever you decide to be, this also determines your position in life. That's how I see it. So having done this business for since 2015, that's over 10, that's 10 years. I have come to realize that this is not just a business for me. This is a purpose, because the more, and of course, in my consultation rooms, I'm seeing so many things that are scary. And I know that this is a time where we need to do something about it. So this training has exposed you to some of the few problems that you experience. Now, let's talk about solution. Now, we've talked about chemicals. For me to say we shouldn't use that means there must be alternatives that we should be using for to replace these things. And that's why I believe that a lot of us are here, and that's why I'm here. So that I'm hoping that I have enough solution providers. I am hoping that the people that are here are people who have come to be solution providers, not just to make money. The truth is that when you are purpose-driven, when you are solution providing, you will make money. Money follows value. That's the simple truth. But value needs knowledge. If you don't have knowledge, how can you give value? And that's so I'm solving the problem of knowledge. And I'm also solving the problem of health issues that people are experiencing. I'm also solving the problem of finance. Now, how am I solving knowledge? Is to teach you about to let you know the solutions, of essential oils. So when I talked about my dad going through pain, today my mom would rather just use oils, for pain, even high blood pressure issues and all that, because high blood pressure sometimes is because of anxiety, tension, stress, all of these things together. That's for somebody who have taken care of diet, done so many things, and still having high blood pressure. Sometimes it's stress, sometimes it's anxiety. And then there are essential oils that will take care of those things. For pain, for example, you have essential oils that will take care of those things. And essential oils are not, the funny thing is, they are not new. They've been there since ancient. The Bible talked about essential oils. Of course, details is written in the Bible. Jesus Christ, when he was born, he was giving gifts of myrrh. Myrrh is an essential. Frankincense. These are major essential oils. And there was a reason why those things were gifted to him. Esther, before she became the part of the training, before she could go to the king, was to bathe in oils. Now, the Greek people, what's the name? All these goddess and all of that, they soaked in oil. They had oil baths for healing, for aroma, and the thing about aroma is it helps your moods. It works with your limbic, your nervous system, and it improves your mood. Your mood, if you are happy, your body is healthy, actually. So most of these health issues, like high blood pressure, for example, and many health diseases, they're also tied to emotional or mood problems. Of course, that is deeper things that we'll talk about. But the Egyptians used essential oils. Indians, China, in their ancient book, herbal medicine book, that was written like 5,000 years BC, had essential oils talked about in it. Of course, some people also use it for beauty and spiritual. For Greece, they use it for healing, beauty, and spiritual purposes. Like I said, still trusted today in our naturopathic world, in aromatherapy. Essential oils are still used. But in Nigeria, a lot of people do not know about it. So before I continue, so when COVID happened, let me just say this. So when COVID happened, I couldn't import these oils. And then I was pregnant, I had a baby, so I couldn't, my business, everything just went, And then I tried. I noticed, that was when I knew that the oils were really doing a lot, because I found out that there were so many issues we had to deal with. And then I said, okay, if I can't import, I heard that they sell this in Ojota. Let me go to Ojota and at least buy them. Even if I now have to be selling from there, I go to Ojota, and to my disappointment, what they sold to me, I felt like crying. And that was the day I knew that I had to go back to this business, because the essential oil they sold in Ojota to me, first, was in the wrong bottle. Two, had no aroma or anything close to essential oil. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, it was just paraffin oil. And I met people who tell me that they use lavender oil in their hair product, in their skin product. I'm like, where? Show me the oil. And they gave me this oil. And I'm like, what? Are you for real? It's fast. So this thing made me know that, okay, we have to go back to this business. And I went back into it, and I still found out that I'm still the only one. And now, because I really have gotten my hands full, and I really cannot I cannot meet up with the demands that I have. Those on my platforms, on my various health platforms, they know it's so difficult to reach me. So most of them, I can't reach up with it. So I just decided, I sat down and I looked, especially this GMO thing actually was one of the things that pushed me. And then I sat down and I said, how do I solve these problems that are facing me? And looking at what is also coming, then I decided to just make this an open thing. Okay, let's just make this essential. It's not new. Even the US, in developed world, they use it. It's just for we Nigerians, we don't know a lot about it. And these oils are things that you don't even need to ingest. The magic about it is just massage. So anyway, that was how I went back. And that's the reason behind what I'm doing today. I want to teach as many people and give many people opportunities to also start up their own business. So we can reach out, because only me cannot reach out to everybody. And maybe I will also get an assistant from what I'm doing, because it's been so difficult to get people to work. So, but if I have somebody who's also passionate with me, yeah. So the major thing is let's heal the world, let's help the world. So let's talk about some of the benefits of essential oils. So essential oils support your immune system, prevent diseases naturally. I already told you about it. During COVID, tea tree was our own sanitizer, because we still had some. So instead of those chemical sanitizers that they later on still came up with issues with it again, we use tea tree oil. We use lemongrass, peppermint oil to control. Yeah, so lemongrass, for example, and peppermint oil. When I said we didn't go to hospital, that means we didn't really have reason. So sometimes, of course, children, the way they develop their immune system is by having all of these things. If they don't have those things, there's an issue. So we have cases where my children will have fever, maybe some infection, they're fighting some infection, and the fever will be high. I don't use paracetamol, I don't use ibuprofen, I don't use all of those things. I use lemongrass oil or peppermint oil, depending on the age of the child, and apply it on that child. And that brings the fever down without using anything. So it helps with respiratory issues. Another common thing that I'm just talking about children, but it's not only children. So adults, so if you are running fever and you rub those things on your body, it will bring down your fever. Respiratory issues, most times people can use those inhalers that eventually cause major problems, because they become addicted to it, and then it causes bigger problem for them. You don't need it. Essential oils will take care of the allergies. Essential oils will take care of sleep problems. And the funny, you just need to drop it around you, infuse it around you, rub under your feet and some places. Stress is a major factor in everybody's day-to-day life that you don't even know. Is when the stress has spiked, when your body is tired of dealing with it. That's when you now see the blood pressure machine will now say the blood pressure is high, or your adrenal fatigue will just give up, because they've been overworking, and you have not been managing it. So I tell people that my major interest is in prevention of diseases. Let's not wait for when the disease happens. Let us start by preventing the disease first. So when distress is a major factor. If somebody just speaks, helping people I have a friend, actually, that's what she does. She goes corporate organizations and she helps them, do some exercises, massages, just to help deal with stress. And you don't know what favor you'll be doing to your body when you start having things to help to handle the stress that you're facing. So essential oils are excellent for dealing with stress effects. Headaches. Now, when people have headache, before you know it, they're popping paracetamol. Those things are your liver that you're affecting. It's the liver. You don't need to always pop. And then some people have menstrual pain. They are using ibuprofen, Felvin, all these antisteroidal. I've had to do, and a lot of these things are what is responsible for infertility. These things are responsible for fibroid, endometriosis, all of those issues that you will find in those areas. It's because of the painkillers that they use. Meanwhile, simple massaging peppermint oil on your lower abdomen will take care of that pain naturally with no side effect. The same thing with headache. All you need to do is put a few drops of peppermint oil on your hand, and then massage your temple, underneath your feet, at the back of your neck, and headache will go. Hormonal issues, support your digestive system. For example, you're experiencing bloating, indigestion, just massage your stomach with what's his name? Essential oils like peppermints, like orange oil. They improve skin health. Of course, that's very common. And then we also use essential, for me, like I said, in my household, we use our own creams that we make with oils, natural oils, because most times all of these synthetic oils, all these petroleum jelly products, most of it are petroleum jelly. That means they are petroleum products that you're applying to your body. In the long run, they will block your pores. They will cause skin issues. So I always recommend you, as much as possible, go as natural as possible. Your deodorant, for example, don't need all those things that will go and be acting as hormones in your body and fighting with your own normal body. With essential oils, you have essential oils that have anti-deodorant. They have, what do you call it? The reason why you're using the deodorant is to remove odor, right? Yes. So they are deodorants themselves. And you know, most times the reason why you're having the odor sometimes is microbial. So you have essential oils that have antimicrobial properties, like tea tree oil, you have lemongrass, name them, you have them. So you can even do your own deodorant. You get it. Your skin products, you're using essential. Without, you see those fragrances. When you see cream, they are putting fragrance and putting all those things. It's danger. You know, that's danger. So your essential oils are also excellent for emotional support. Like I said, for me, in the mornings, you know, you have to wake up because you have work to do. And then I need oils to boost to wake up. So when I wake up and I need my energy, you know, of course, I have morning routines. My peppermint oil, I have a blend for energy. So you have oils that will help you boost your energy. You have oils that will help you focus, sharpen your focus, that will also help you calm your anxiety and calm your body. I have people call me and say, they are so busy, they work all through, and when they want to sleep, they can't sleep. Yes, because your body has refused to shut down, because your body, you have worked the body so much that the cortisol that the body has produced is too much. You cannot even come down. So that's why most people, they are even on their bed. They've worked all day. They're on their bed. They want to sleep. They can't sleep. So you must have things that are helping you take care of these things. It's very important. Now, I'm saying all of this for you, and at the same time, so that you can also go out and also teach other people or provide these solutions to people. So just to simplify it, what some of the few things that essential oil can do for you, what you can do with essential oils. So one of it is to relieve pain. I've mentioned headaches safely, sleep better, deal with stress, support better emotions. So you have essential oils that can deal with fear, they use for fear, for anxiety. I'm telling you, like ylang ylang, for example. You have essential oil that can boost libido, that can improve sexual moods, you know, so many things. So support better emotions, boost energy and focus, relieve bloating and digestive issues, create safe deodorants and perfumes, make household products like air freshener, even, you know, natural shampoos, body creams, you know, many, many things you can use essential oils to do. So now we have almost 90 or plenty essential oils, plenty. There are too many you cannot count. But for starters, you have to start with some basic essential oils that are, you know, that they can do many things. And I have my list. Some people have their own, but for me, my 5 major essential oils that for starters that anybody must have are these 5. Because peppermint is versatile. Peppermint can help you, you know, pains and all that. We'll get to it. So eucalyptus, frankincense, rosemary, lemongrass. I'll just mention some of their benefits. Some of their uses is much more. You know, when you get your own private time, you can do your research on this thing. So peppermint, like I said, will relieve headache, will soothe digestion, will boost focus and energy. Peppermint will digestion, bloating and all of that. Peppermint will take care of all of that and many more. These are just few of the benefits. Then we have frankincense. Frankincense is actually referred as the king of oils. So it's excellent for stress relief, relaxation. It supports your skin healing. Frankincense is very good for healing. So for people who have scars, it's also good for aging. You know, it's perfect for meditation and prayers. Yes. So, you know, because frankincense has a way of grounding you, of keeping you calm, you know, and relax. So you can actually inhale this. You know, some of these oils were in the anointing oil. Don't worry, when we get there, we'll talk more about those things when I get to the place where I need to talk about it. So, because I don't want to divert and I don't want to take too much time. So frankincense is one of the very few oils that can cross through the blood-brain barrier. So you have very few things, like even when people have cancers and all of that, and they use chemotherapies, one of the challenges they have is the crossing of the treatment into the brain, because, you know, there's a barrier, there's a blockage. So frankincense is one of those few things that can penetrate through that and bring healing to that part of the body. So frankincense is king of the oil. Some of the benefits. Now we have eucalyptus. Eucalyptus take care of everything respiratory issues, congestion, catarrh, cough, allergy, name them, very perfect for it. It's great for steam, so you can use it for steam inhalation. You know, you use it to freshen your air. Most of these allergies is because the air is polluted. So when you use oils like eucalyptus, and of course many other oils you can use to clear the air, you know, because the air is polluted, so these are sources of diseases, you know. So we have rosemary. So rosemary is very popular in Nigeria, but, you know, most people do, they do infuse rosemary. So when you watch some video, I see a lot of videos that say you want to turn your gray hair, you want to stop gray hair, you want to grow your hair. They'll tell you to put rosemary, herb, do certain things. Those things are long things. The process can even get polluted, you know. The best thing for you is to use essential oils. I should have been showing you some of these essential oils. So some of our bio-natural essential oils. So this is rosemary. As small as it is, like you just need few drops in any formulations you're formulating, and it will give you that effect. Rosemary is very good for hair growth, to strengthen your hair, everything around hair. Improve, and now another very popular thing rosemary is known for is to focusing, improve your memory and focusing. We've gotten to that point where you are forgetting things and all of that. Rosemary is excellent. Now, these oils, especially this rosemary, peppermint, some of these, they have, frankincense, they all have these properties that they improve circulation. So most times, some of the issues that people have, is the fact that there's no proper flow. There's no proper flow. So when there's no proper flow, that means that, you know, blood, that's the flow of blood. Your blood carries oxygen. Your blood carries food to the different parts of the body. Now, when there's stagnation, when there's no flow, that's when you begin to feel some of these symptoms. That means there's no life, because, you know, oxygen is actually what carries life. So you must have things that are helping you improve circulation. Exercise is one of those things, but, you know, you need this. How many of us actually do exercise? You know, so, but of course, it's very important. You can't take away exercise. But this same oil will help you do exercise. They will boost your energy to do exercise. Like when I wake up and I'm feeling lazy, I use oil. Rosemary is part of the oils I use in my energy blend. Peppermint is part, frankincense is part of the oils I use in my energy blend. So they help you improve your circulation. Most of these oils, they improve memory. Like rosemary now improves memory and focus. Is well known for that. Also one of those oils that can pass through that blood barrier. Then you have ease. So of course you're going to do exercise, your body, your bone is paining, your joints is paining, your rosemary is good. That's also because they can improve circulation too. You know, and you have peppermint also. You have lemongrass. We know what lemongrass is in Nigeria. So lemongrass is an excellent mosquito repellent. So instead of these regular repellents that can actually irritate your system and affect your blood, lemongrass is an excellent mosquito repellent. You know, some of us know that when you plant lemongrass plants around your house, sometimes keep mosquitoes away. So it will help you reduce fever, like I mentioned earlier. It's also excellent for cleaning and refreshing your own. The aroma, these things, you know, when you spray, when you what do you call it, diffuse it in your house, or you put them in a spray bottle and spray around, it cleans the air. It cleans. If you put lemongrass in a container or something and you put it in your fridge, you know, you put something that is infusing it will take the odor away from the fridge or anywhere you want it to take. So lemongrass is very excellent oil, one of my go-to oil for many things. It's also good for pain too. So let's talk about some of these recipes. So some things you can do actually, so that you can, these are take homes that you can even start by your own self now. For example, you want to have a relax and sleep roll on. All you have to do is put some drops of lavender, some drops of orange oil, geranium, mix it up. So mix it up with a carrier oil like coconut oil, rub it under your feet, or without even mixing, put some drop on your pillow. You can even, and you have it, and just make sure you're inhaling in one way or the other, and it will give you a sound. So we have natural surface cleansers, cleaners. These things I'm saying are things you can go home and try yourself. Use water, vinegar, lemon, eucalyptus, put them together. You can also put, play with the oils for the kind of aroma you want. We have energy focused blends, like I said, peppermint, orange. Orange is a happy oil. It's a oil for happiness. So I love orange oil. When you smell it, it just makes you happy. So if you know anybody that is moody, you have always having, just burn orange oil or just send orange oil to that person. Very excellent, So for energy blends, you can do peppermint, rosemary, frankincense, orange. If you have I'm saying all of this because I have access to most of these oils. So, but even if it's only 1 or 2 grams, you can also. So mosquito repellent and mosquito spray, like I said, put water in a spray bottle, put your lemongrass and eucalyptus or peppermint, lavender, any of those oils, mix it, shake it and spray it around, or even just mix them and rub them on your body. that will work as a mosquito repellent for you. You know, so some of the testimonies that I've had based on my experience with just very few. What you can do with essential oil. So I have this client whose husband reached out to me. The wife, of course, was having vaginal infections. Of course, that's candida overgrowth. It was causing itching and smell in the vaginal area. And, you know, the same thing, I have men. So it's not just women. I have men that's going to carry, you know, some of those infections and they have itching or CC oil, for example, geranium, these oils will take care of all these things naturally, and they don't have all these side effects. They are not things that you have to depend on. They treat and they give the name. So, like I said, this allergy issue for many, I have many children with testimonies of free. I have children, in fact, children that have grown, even at university levels, that their mothers reached out to me that since the child has been small, she never sleeps well because of blocked nose, blah, blah, blah. I just make a blend of essential oils for these things. And the mothers come back to thank me for improving. I mean, because the children can now sleep and allergy issues. Of course, there are many other things that can be attached, but these things, these essential oils really believe. So instead of running to those antihistamine, those piritin, those things have issues. They have problems. They have what, especially when it's somebody that's always having this, and every time you have it, you go and use flu cold, what they call it, all those things. Hey, it's danger, please. And my own word, what I pray for most, I will beg you people most, don't use these things for your children. You have some people that will just go and bomb antibiotics. And so before I knew about this, when I had my first child, so he had some health issues, and then the doctors every month were always in the hospital, and the doctors always gave him antibiotics, and they wanted to just kill my son with antibiotics. And I didn't know because I thought it was normal. As the boy, I'm sure it was about 4 or 5, he started having holes in his teeth, black holes. His teeth were already, eating up at 5. And I know how much I was spending at the dentist just because of all of this. His digestive system was messed up. It was until I lost my dad and all of these issues, that's when we started working on all of this. And that frequent falling ill, there was no more, my son would not vomit, stew, so many things. And of course, go to the hospital because we didn't know any other way. They were pumping him with antibiotics. And of course, this thing affected his health. Of course, after I got into the natural, we were able to fix it. So I'm just telling you that you can save yourself all of this. So I'm saying this to a mother, a child. I have neighbors that also just give birth to children. They don't even go to hospital because even when the child is running fever, I say, don't worry, that's the immune system of the child working. Just support, bring down the fever, use this, use that. So these are ways you can help, because just that alone, just prevent. Now it's worse with antibiotics because you have a lot of resistance to antibiotics now. So when that child when you now really need the antibiotics, it won't work because you have abused it. And this is something that's very common in Nigeria. People run to antibiotics for things that would naturally take care of itself. So anybody that is coming into this space, you are preferring solutions that people will pray for you, even in the future. I tell my children, I said, look, all these things I'm teaching you people right now is in the future, you're going to tell me thank you, because that's when you will understand it. And then you will rule, because it takes a healthy person to rule. In a world where many people are sick, it takes a healthy person for your brain to even function. So raise children, be among those of us that raise children that will be, healthy, sharp brain, so by using some of these things stresslessly. So we have people have had cases of anxiety, high blood pressure that is emotional problems, very common with women, high blood pressure that is anxiety based on the fact that some of them cannot even sleep. Your essential oil, lavender will make you sleep. Geranium, enough oils will make you sleep. So frequent headache, you now have people who have frequent headache based on some of the things that they are doing that they don't even know. And then they'll keep popping painkillers that are not even working for them anymore. So essential oils will help naturally, and those are just few of the assessment. Now let's talk about the business opportunity without even talking too much. I've already told you the problems and the solutions. And we have come to a time where people also know that these medicines, these normal medicines that we're using, they are no more working. So in my own father's days, we did not know that medicine was harmful. But now I can bet that out of at least 60 or 70% of people on this call right now know that medicines have side effects. They don't really treat, they just maintain, and they cause a whole lot of side effects, you know. So there is really, and so there's a high demand. Now, how do you know? So for example, Zobo that we used to get for almost free before, at what rate? Now go to the market and try to buy Zobo. Why? Because people now know that it will naturally take care of some of the health issues that people are facing. So now there's a high demand for natural things. That's what the world is going to. And I'm telling you, see, with this GMO that is coming into the Nigerian market, although it's been there, and that's part of the things that is already affected, it's not new, but this one that they are now bent on introducing it, and they are using money, people are buying, the farmers are already taking it. So trust me, there's going to be a demand, serious demand. I mean, this is just you positioning yourself. No, having this knowledge right now is you positioning yourself for future, not for future, for present, because it's already happening now. So health is something people always need, even more during uncertain times like this. The chemicals to natural shift is creating multi-million, billion-dollar global market, and that's the truth. Some people will be abroad, so like I know the UK system for health is a no-no, zero. I actually consult with some of the doctors in the UK presently. That's doctors, not to now talk about. So you cannot be in those systems and not know what to do when it comes to health. You cannot put your life, and that's the truth. You simply cannot put your life, every one of us cannot live our lives to the hand of anybody. You have to take charge of your health. So essential oil is a global business. It's not, and there's money in essential oils. Like I said, I started this thing in 2015. Before COVID, I know because I actually set up essential oil business for people, and I know what it was. I mean, the kind of money that was coming into my pockets. For me, myself, now I'm saying I can't meet up with my demand. That's why I'm also spreading this thing out. So essential oils, they're also affordable. You can repeat, and you are sure that people will keep coming. The people that are using, those your customers will always need it, because if they don't, like I said, I have some clients that they bought for allergy. Before you know it, they're buying for menstrual pain, to deal with menstrual pain. Before you know it, maybe they had high blood pressure, or they don't sleep. So there will always be a demand for these things, because these things are taking care of common health issues. And now, so what you really need, having said all of this, is to have the right knowledge, the in-depth knowledge on how to use this thing, because whatever you don't have knowledge about, you cannot really do. So what I've just given you is a peripheral, a tip of the iceberg. A tip of the iceberg, and it's nothing. You need to have in-depth knowledge for you to even be able to have confidence to talk to people about. If you are in the massage industry, that you have a massage parlor and all that, you need essential oils. Even if you just decide that, okay, this is the solution I want to provide, to be providing natural perfumes. You want to provide natural deodorant options. I mean, that one alone, just facing that alone is one big market for you. So you can help people prevent diseases, live healthy, and people will pray for you and bless you. And you're also fulfilling the desire of God that created us. So by doing all that, so this will surely create steady inflow, even in changing times, whether you like it or not. That's what you will do. So based on this, why this webinar is a turning point? The world needs people who can guide others from chemicals to natural. You are not just learning oils, you are gaining skills to impact health and wealth. And this is the business of the present and the future, like I already said. So why am I doing all of this? I have just given you a small, I don't even know, I won't even say, just the tip of the iceberg. Let me just leave it like that. Now, based on all of these that I've exposed or experienced, where I now decided the way I could pass this whole thing very well is to have a whole free course where you will be detailed, where details and everything that you need to know about how these essential oils can improve your health and the business around it, like I am experiencing it. So, and you can, learn all of that in just one course. I did this particular course that got me this knowledge in 2017, and I spent $700 to take that course. Now, this year I decided to say, okay, let's see how much are they taking this course. Presently, the few places that they're taking this course online is $2,000. Others that I found, they have broken the courses into pieces, which maybe eventually I'm going to do too, because, and they've broken the courses into pieces and they're charging like $800, $700. So, but my own aim is not just about the money, but the fact that we need to position, I need to raise people like me that can also position to save people, because my main, what started as an innocent, okay, just help your mom or help your brothers, help other people, and you yourself not to be sick, me not to be sick. But when I made a business out of it, when I started also using it as a business, and I saw how many people I was also impacting their life, and we're coming back to say thank you to me. And now it has got even so bigger that I really cannot deal with everything. So that's why I also want to now get other people. So I'm looking for serious people, or I want serious people that want to be solution providers. And that is why I'm not here saying I'm going to charge the $700 I paid for this course. I don't have to. I'm not here to say, okay, right, presently they're charging $2,000, or let me even break it and now make more money out of it. That's not what this is about. This is about providing solutions. This is about helping people. And this is about, I believe that I will receive more blessings and more, fulfillment doing that. So based on that, I have come up with this course. It's going to, in this course, we have over 20, about 48 more essential oils that I'll be giving in this, so that even in any part of the world you are. So this course is not just about those of us in Nigeria. Any part, you can have access to these oils depending on the type of oils, And in this course, it talks about each body system, the condition that affects each body system, and how essential oils can be used to improve. So as naturopaths, we don't just look at symptoms, we look at the whole system. So in this course, we look at the system and we look at the conditions that affect the system, and how essential oils can be used to improve the health or the conditions in these systems. Now we talk about practical aromatherapy, how simply by massaging. There's these massaging techniques, that can also, that you use for healing. And the best part of it for me is there's something we call reflexology. From under your feet, you can target the different parts of your system, because you have all the nerve endings at the under your feet. So you can target the different, like you can target your eyes. Maybe you're having issues with your eyes and you want to improve it, you want to send, of course, you can't put essential oil in your eyes, but there are areas on your feet that you can actually target and just put the oil, massage it there, and it will bring healing to your eyes. The same thing with different parts of your body. So I'll be taking this in this course, because you need, for you to start selling something and succeed around this, or even to start a bit, you need in-depth knowledge. And that's why this course is huge, is voluminous, is detailed. Of course, there's also the business building strategy, where how to get your own oil, if you want to start your own business, all of that is packaged inside. And of course, you get your certificate and a lifetime, a support, let me not say, like, of course, lifetime support, because you will get to the point where you yourself will now be bigger and also go and raise your own army. Of course, so you get all of this in this course that I've packaged together at a fee of 25,000. Now, this 25,000, the first batch is already ongoing. I think I have one of my students from I have some students from the first batch. They are here. If you are still here, please raise up your hand so maybe they can share if they want to. I think we still have maybe like 5 minutes or 10 minutes we can talk about it. So if Mr. Akman, if you're still here, or anybody that is a student from my present batch and want to just tell, first week, this is the first week, maybe you want to share what it feels like already, if I'm just making mouth, or if what you are getting is what's this amount. But the first batch actually paid 20,000, but now the price is 25,000. And like I said, that 20,000 for me was, okay, let's start. Let me just do that as a promo. Now it's 25. This 25 is still a promo. And the price will keep going up. The price will keep going up, because I told you I did this course at 700. So this 25 is the least of this price. And you know what? We are starting this. You can still join this first batch if you are one of those that are very eager, because I've had people who have seen my ads and have called me and paid for the batch without listening to this webinar, because they knew what they were looking for. So if you are on this call and you really feel like I can't wait, you just join this first batch. You go to the platform where you pay for it. I will share the link of all of that in the group. I believe everybody here is already in the group. I'll be sharing the link, so I'm sure you would have seen it, to buy the course. And this offer would only last from now to this 25,000 is also an offer. It's a promo offer. It will only last between now and the next week, Friday. Now and Wednesday next week. So if you are interested in this course, don't delay. Take that opportunity and take the chance now. Get yours forget about these payment details. Forget about it. Just I will share the I'll share the link where you can buy the course and listen. So thank you for attending. Thank you for listening to me. I'm now open for questions. If you have any question, and if there's anybody that was in last class is here, you can just raise up your hand or you just unmute and share. So let's discuss. If you have questions, let's go ahead. I'll stop sharing now so that you can see my face very well. You can ask your questions. We'll just do that for the next 5-6 minutes and we're out. I want latest 8 o'clock. I want us out. Everybody can go back. I see I have more things to pay attention to. So the floor is opened. Thank you for listening. Okay.
Hello.
Yes. Please speak. Go ahead. Okay.
Yeah, it's Dominic.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Yeah. Okay, so I just wanted to come to the webinar, but I already purchased the course today.
Yes, I noticed that. Have you seen your course material?
Yes, I have, and I have finished lesson 1. I think the first one. So I'm in the second one right now. Yeah.
So what do you think about it?
It's awesome. It's awesome. It's really a very good thing, you know, for someone like me that have been battling with illness since 2021.
Wow.
So I have been around very sick people too, even in my family, other extended family members. So I decided to go on a journey of like discovering herbal remedies and all that. And eventually your ad popped up on my feed, maybe because I've been browsing, because they look at it and they send you similar ads and all that. So I just checked it, and essential oils happens to be one of the things I'm going for. That's why I just paid and started. So just the only, like I asked before, the only challenge I'm seeing is how to get some of those things to use. Like you mentioned the eucalyptus oil. I want to ask, do you go to supermarkets to get those oils to use them, or how do you get them?
So personally, I import these oils for now. You know, in Nigeria, we don't have enough of these, some of these raw materials, but we're still going to go into production in Nigeria. But where you get bulk of them, it's good because, you know, in that course, you understand from when you start, you understand that there's quality. Essential oil, the effectiveness of essential oil has a lot to do with quality. And essential oil also is like the most powerful form of herbal medicine. I keep telling people, because that's the life essence. I don't know, I didn't mention it here. Is the essence of the plant. That's like the blood of the plant. Is what the plant, so it's not the protein or the carbohydrate that the food that makes the plant. Now is what the plant uses to protect themselves, or maybe they have a wound. Is what, you know, the things that so it's like the blood. Let me just use it. We call it the essence or the blood of the plant. So it's actually the strongest one. So quality matters in essential, and these are all the things that in the class you will have to identify. Like I said, I went to Jota to buy those things. There's no way it would have worked. So I personally have, I mean, in Bio Naturals, we have eucalyptus. All those oils I mentioned and much more. We have them. So if you are looking for something for health, be sure that I can supply them to you. If you also want to start your business, so of course, depending on the level at which you want to go. Well, of course, you will get to know more about that in the classroom because you're already in my network. So all these conversations are the kind of conversations we have, you know, in the group.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I think
yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is.
No, I'm okay. Okay.
Looking forward to you talk more to me on Saturday.
Yeah.
Webinar. This training, I also forgot to mention that. So the way it works is that it's a 4 weeks program. It's you would have course materials to read in those 4 weeks. Every week. And on Saturdays, we have live webinars. So these are things that I didn't get the opportunity in all the courses that I've taken. You just go and read online. There's no, in fact, there's really nobody's even asked questions. You go and read and do find your own research and find your way. But this, I'm actually just to tell you how much I am trying to help. I'm willing, at least for now, to have Saturday live sessions with all students based on what we had in the week. We discuss so that I can explain and we can discuss it better based on experience and all of that. So That's that. So more and more, just don't dull. I just bet anybody that knows he has interest in this kind of thing, just get the course now, because I'm telling you now that I'm putting, before you know it, I will increase the price. So let's see. Okay, Mr. Michael, you've been on the line since all the time. So let's speak.
Good evening, ma'am. And good evening, everyone joining here. Thank you so much for the light shed. And for me, I just a few questions.
Okay.
But a few not questions or so thinking about the fact that these oils are being produced from plants, I guess.
Yeah.
And we all know the cases of fertilizers and the impact. So that's one. That's one. So I'd like you to share more light on that. And also, secondly, talking about production, we currently are importing majorly. So for me, I'm thinking, how can we produce back at home?
So these are conversations we will have in the group. Okay, go
Sorry?
ahead. Go ahead. Finish. Let me allow you.
That's about it, ma'am. Just keep it brief.
Okay. So these are conversations that you will have on that platform, because production, I also love to produce in Nigeria, but there are certain factors. Now, the raw materials, like somebody else joined the group, paid for the cost without also, he already is in the business, but also have problem with sourcing and all of that. So he just paid for the cost. And I was talking about, I said, look, I know how essential oil is produced. I have produced essential oils in the lab. But when you want to commercialize, we are talking about bulk. And the problem for me is not the material. The problem is the raw material. So these are things that we'll have that conversation. And that's the essence of this, because you are now coming into a community. What one person may not be able to do, a group of people can do and achieve. So these are the opportunities that you will have in this community. There's nothing like this right now in Nigeria. So anybody that is doing this or coming into this platform now, you are a pace setter. So when it comes to, you also talking about the fertilizer issues and all of that. So we have different levels, different grades of essential oils. They say organic, they say all of those things. But as long as you're not the one that produces, anything they tell you, you collect. So, but the good thing about essential oils is there are things you can use without putting it in your mouth. And when you talk about fertilizers, for example, what does fertilizer do? Why is fertilizer? Why is it bad or something? So what they do is they deplete. Most time they deplete the nutrients of the soil. That's what I'm saying. So the plant doesn't get to be rich as it should be. When you talk about pesticides, that's the one that I think you should be talking about mainly, is when you use herbs or food that are stained with pesticides, most times you are eating them if you don't wash them off. But because you are not using, because pesticide, for example, it has stained the plant, the leaf itself or whatever it is, it's on it. But in this case, you are just extracting the essential oils from the plant, which is not even the compressed oil. It's not like coconut oil, or it's not the same thing. This is done by distillation. So there's what you are really extracting really is not has not been, the pesticide is not inside. And then when you're not sure, you don't need to drink or put it inside before you. So essential oil is one of the safest things you should. When you are trying to run away from those things, then you should be looking at essential oils. So I hope I've answered your question. And
thank you, ma'am.
In the classroom. So who else? Any other question? I saw somebody else raise their hand. You dropped your hand already. Okay, so I think that's that for now. If there's no other question, can continue. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, Doctor. So this is Rebecca. We spoke this evening. Okay. So so basically essential oils are for external use strictly.
Yeah, so you can there are cases where you can use it internally, but you have to be sure of the source. These are conversations that will be discussed in platforms.
Okay. Okay, then another thing, if I can, another thing I think I got from what you just said concerning fertilizer, because I wanted to even say, okay, is it that fertilizers are not used for those plants that we use for essential oils, that we get essential oils from, or are fertilizers actually used? But because of the way the production is done, the fertilizer doesn't actually affect the oil. Is that basically what you're saying?
Yes. But even apart from that, so we have oils that are labeled organic essential oils. So when they say organic essential, the factory or the production outfit is claiming that they didn't use fertilizers, they didn't use any chemicals in growing of the plants. But for me, I always say, if it's not me that I didn't go to the farm, so I can't tell. I can pick my own oils and write a book. So when we get to the point when we are, because funny enough, pharmaceutical companies use essential oils. But pharmaceutical companies will have to use the ones, either they are manufacturing themselves, or they know the manufacturers directly and they know that they are produced for pharmaceutical purposes. So for example, in your gas coil, that suspension that is used for ulcer, one of it has peppermint oil. So at the end of the day, production is the way. But you can use these oils without even taking it internally and you still get the benefits. So one of the safest ways for you when you want to deal with those things is essential oil. The quality, I always say, is very important and essential. So that you just make sure you're not using fragrance, which you think you're really away from, instead of essential oils. So I hope I've answered the question.
Okay, yes, you have. Yes, you have.
Thank you.
Then another thing, another thing, now that you want to expand, right? You want to, like you said before, that your hands are very full now, so you really need to get people to help out and all that, and also probably go in the same line of business with you.
Yeah.
So I hope you must have thought about this. How do you intend to protect your brand at the end of the day when a lot of people are now into it through you?
So the thing is that they say the sky is wide. In my classroom, I have people from Canada. The present student now, I have people from UK. I have people from. So there are some people in the class who will sell my brand for starters. Now I have friends who are doing the same business that I do. They do have that's what it's called collaboration. This space, how many billions of people? How many millions we have in it? This space is wide. If I run an ad now and somebody else run the people that the ads are tagged as, the people that are seeing the ad is different from the people that are seeing mine. So the space is where I am not even scared of competition. Because when we go to school, for example, in my class, in my present master's program, where group of herbalists, we all have our customers, our clients separately. We discuss the conditions. This one say, oh, this is how I treat it. This is how I treat it. That's what is called collaborations. Because you can't, like I said, I can't meet my own targets. So, but I also know that among the students, some people will sell my brand. So that's the list of worries. And apart from that, everything is process. So some people, you may even, like when I started, I would rather start selling somebody else's brand to learn the market before I now go into mine. There's room for growth. The market is large, it's wide. And that's why people who start early is an opportunity for it. It's just like herbs. Now, herb everywhere you turn to, use this, use that, use that. Everywhere you turn to, but you still have people who are still looking for herbs up and down. So you can never have less. You cannot say the market is too tight. Now strong. Of course, there might be that time, but in essential oils, so you'll be unique in your own way. For example, I can do blends that will. Don't worry. In the classroom, you are supposed to be my student now, so don't worry. You will learn all of that. When we get into the class, we'll talk about all of that.
Okay, yeah. But another thing I had in mind when I was asking how you will now protect your brand when you have now a lot of people into it and all that, it's in terms of people taking advantage of that and bringing in maybe contaminated or oils that are not up to standard or to the standard that you have set. That's basically what I'm pointing.
That's what will differentiate everybody. When by the time you bring fake, even I sometimes have brought oils that I know is not good enough. And my regular customers, when I give it, they say, no, madam, this even me, I know, and I don't sell them. And I go back to the client, depending on where, and I say, oh God, you have to change these things for me. So experiences. So if you bring, you will should be people that want to buy from me. If it doesn't work, so that's for me, that's not even, as long as it's not me that I brought it in. So that would be that person's business and life business, not mine. As long as my own, I will teach you how to identify good oils, how to go for good oils. If you want to now go for yours, I will even, let's just leave that to the class. When we get to the class, we'll talk about those things.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Kaude. I'll share the link to get in. So our time is far gone. Thank you, everyone. Any other question? Collaboration is key. Thank you, Mr. Taiwo Balodi. So any other question? Any of these oil trees fraction? Yes, if in the class, there are oils, I will do that. So thank you, everyone. I think it's time for us to go. I will drop the link to purchase the course in the group, and every other question you can ask. Okay, I had to block the comments because of some farmers that are coming in to post rubbish. So if you have any questions, just send me a message personally, and I'll answer. I don't want to comment. Thank you once more. Thank you for joining again. See you in the group, and I hope to see you in class. Bye for now.
Okay, thank you so much. Bye.